would gather enough of the white votes, a handful of the black votes, and a handful of the Hispanic votes would enough to get him over and win the election. But they never anticipated that black folks can unify. To even my surprise, I'm sure they shocked the devil out, Rahm Emanuel and the power structure that be that the two of the three black candidates, quote unquote leading black candidates, dropped out of the race. Because I must admit, it even shocked Coach that they was even able to unify for the cause. Now I hear the conspiracy that Meeks was a plan and Danny Davis was going to drop out. I hear those conspiracy theories. I don't find validation in those. I have accepted their explanation that they looked at the picture and somebody had to blink. And everybody was standing there dead at each other. And Curl said she wasn't getting out. Meek said we need to talk, but ain't no need in talking if we can't compromise. And then I heard them knocking Jesse Jackson Sr. as the power broker behind the scenes that encouraged Danny Davis to get out of the race. And I must admit, if Jesse Sr. was the power broker that encouraged Danny to step aside, I got to applaud Jesse Jackson Sr. for his efforts in calling these troops together and getting one consensus candidate. Now I will admit, the coach will admit, I did not have a per se horse in the race at that point in time. But I will admit this publicly, I was leaning toward Meeks, Reverend Senator Meeks, as my front runner as candidate for mayor. Danny Davis was a close second, but age was my concerning factor with Danny Davis more than anything else. And I must admit that Carol Mosley Braun was last on my list. I will be honest. She was last on my list as a candidate for mayor out of all of the candidates, black candidates. But I will stand behind Carol Mosley Braun 200% for mayor. I want you to hear from the coach. All of those you out there, especially those you that's watching that don't live in my 34th ward where I'm running for alderman, but go get some of your friends and family to vote for the coach that you know that live in the 34th ward. You tell those same people to vote for Carol Mosley Braun for mayor. You tell them the coach said it. I am standing here as the one consensus candidate left, officially announcing that I am supporting Carol Mosley Braun, and I encourage everybody. Well, I don't like Carol Mosley Braun, and she should have been the one to step out. Well, I may agree with she should have been the one that stepped out if that's your argument. But she ain't the one that stepped out. Meeks and Davis stepped out, and that leaves Carol Mosley Braun. Vote for Carol Mosley Braun. Vote for, okay? Hold your breath, hold your nose. Now just think. Y'all let Master Richie in there for 22 years and you ain't got nothing. So we go put Carol Mosley Braun in there, and then we gonna make sure Carol Mosley Braun be accountable to the needs and the concerns of the community. Okay? So all of those y'all take, go vote for Carol Mosley. Coach, now vote for, okay? Just do it. You know, I'm a coach, and you know, you see the team on TV, and they get along like peas in a pot. And guess what? Sometimes we have internal problems on the team. Not too often, but every now and then you have personality conflicts. And as the coach, I got to play peacemaker. And I tell you how coach played peacemaker. One of the ways. All right, you know, one time I give you an example, we had a team. We were getting ready for a team meeting. A couple of players got into it, and they was gonna fight. They was finna get into a fight, and coach was coming, and everybody, here come coach. They all run and go break up the fight. When I found out they was getting ready to fight, move the chair out the floor. All right, you two that want to fight, get in the middle of the floor. Y'all want to fight, go ahead and fight. And whoever break it up, whoever jump up to break the fight up, you don't want to get kicked off the team. That's how we dealt with it. And you think I was going to, no, I ain't seen a good fight in a long time, so I was going to watch the fight. And I told them that, and I was serious as a heart attack. What's your point, coach? I'm trying to say, even when you watch the team on TV, laughing and running and having fun, from time to time, from time to time, we have internal problems on the team. And as the coach, I'm the one sometimes have to get in there and deal with it. I even have internal problems with my coaches sometimes that I have to deal with. And when it's time to deal with it, all right, let's put it right here, let's deal with it, let's get off tape. And you know what? When they get through arguing, when they get through fussing, when they get through going at each other, the next day they running back around friends. The same stuff you see on TV like nothing ever happened. The point of being is this is what we have to do with this Meeks, Braun, Davis issue. We may not agree with who is the one left standing, but we have to rally behind and embrace the one left standing. Because the fact of the matter is, if we go down that same train and put Rahm Emanuel in there, you're going to get the same thing that you got for 22 years of Master Richie. You got nothing. And if you go down that train and put Chico in there, I don't care how smooth of a talker he is, how he tries to portray himself as for the people, you're going to get the same thing for 22 years that you got under Master Richie if you put Chico in there. So don't pay attention to the media and those stupid Negroes. I'm going to vote for Rahm Emanuel because he can get more done for this city because he's the closest to the president. He was his chief of staff. President Clinton can bring his little butt in here and campaign for Rahm Emanuel all he wants. He ain't getting my vote. And he should not get your vote because he has no allegiance to our community. He has no allegiance to our needs, nor he has no allegiance to our concerns. The fact of the matter is, Rahm Emanuel became a millionaire off of the backs of you, the people. The backs of you, the people. And what has he done for our community? When have you seen Rahm Emanuel at any point in time in his life and career in Chicago lobbying for more funds for the Chicago Public School that housed nearly 500,000 students? And out of that 500,000, 500,000, 450,000 Chicago Public School students, I want you to know over 400,000 of them are black, African American, Negroes, minorities. And Rahm Emanuel, when he gets on TV and give these little talking points that I'm going to do this for education and $75 million for after school program. Where was Rahm Emanuel when he was congressman advocating for dollars for your school? The schools in his community, he used his power and his influence as congressman to direct millions of dollars directly into the schools that was in his congressional district through the Board of Education. That's public document. What was he at putting dollars in Finger? What was he at putting dollars in Simeon High School? What was he at putting dollars in Harlem High School? What was he at putting dollars in the CVS Chicago Vocational High School? What was he at putting dollars in the Hirsch High School? What was he at putting dollars in the Calumet High School? Tell Rahm Emanuel to go pull the public road and show where he did anything for a black high school in this city. And pull the roll and we will see where he diverted Board of Education dollars into schools in his congressional district.